Hey guys, Todd James here. Just want to follow up to a previous video where we talked about being an effective salesperson without being salesy, without being pushy, and without setting up things that were easily identifiable as marketing tools, because nothing turns a potential customer off faster than the feeling that they're being manipulated. Certainly as the person selling to the public, you want to guide your clients, guide your customers through a sales process, the so-called funnel, if you will. You want to guide them through that process in a way that benefits you financially, but you don't want them to feel like they're being guided. Well, just to follow up with that, we need to talk a little bit about motivational triggers or sales triggers, things that make people finally decide to add that item to their shopping cart and to give you their credit card number and get the process moving in a way that makes you money. In the earlier video, I talked about, first of all, coming across as a facilitator rather than a salesperson. Most Shopify stores are set up actually with sales as such a strong singular focus. They fail at building any kind of rapport or any kind of relationship with their potential customer. That's a mistake, because even if you're successful in getting the sale, you have not built a relationship that will get that customer back to your store over and over again. So you're kind of losing out on the lifetime value of that customer that you've found through your marketing or through other efforts on your part, which have cost you time and money. You definitely want to maximize the lifetime value of that customer by selling them not only today, but next week and next month as you do additional product offerings. So it definitely is to your benefit to change the style of marketing that you do, and rather than being just a salesperson where you're just pushing for that sale all the time, you become a facilitator and you become a friend to this potential customer, and you are now helping them to uncover solutions to issues in their life that they are looking for solutions to. I'm picking something at random here, but let's say you're selling watches, and you've got this target audience of people who need watches. Let's just say anyone that doesn't have a watch needs a watch. This is a huge target audience. So within that target audience, you have people who would be perfectly happy with a $20 Casio plastic watch, and that would satisfy their needs. Their need is very basic. They want to know the time and the date, and they want a little button on the watch so they can push it and light it up when they're in a dark room. That way they can always tell time and they'll always know what the date is. And you can satisfy that need for a very low price. $20 for a Casio watch was just a thought. You can probably do that for $2 with some other watch. I'm not advocating that you sell $2 watches or even $20 watches, but here you've taken a person with the most basic need possible, and their needs are easily satisfied. They just want to know what time it is. Now let's look at people at the other end of the spectrum who are buying a $10,000 watch, or if you've seen these watches advertised in Robb Report and high-end luxury type magazines, you can spend $250,000 on a watch. Those watches are no more accurate typically than the $20 Casio. In fact, they're frequently less accurate than the $20 Casio. And a lot of times these watches require maintenance and upkeep and have other issues that come along with their ownership. But they also carry benefits to the potential buyer that the Casio doesn't have. There is a prestige factor involved. And by prestige, I'm not talking about vanity so much as I am the CEO of a company who buys himself a $10,000 watch as a congratulatory gift to himself for hitting some type of sales goal or income goal, or doing something else that was notable that this person wanted to commemorate. So they buy a $10,000 watch, and it satisfies them on multiple levels, and it imparts a degree of prestige to them. You know, when they're in a business setting and they're shaking hands and somebody sees their watch or comments on their watch, it satisfies something inside them that the $20 Casio would not have satisfied. So yes, you've sold them a watch that by my standards, maybe not by your standards, but by my standards is grossly overpriced because it doesn't do anything better than the other watch did. The reality of it is that for them, it actually does something the other watch didn't even begin to do, which is satisfy some need that they had inside. You can look at this in other ways. You can think about someone who is an avid swimmer or a scuba diver, and they wear a watch that is waterproofed and is dive ready. So selling them a $20 Casio that dies if it gets hit, in the rain, is not going to satisfy their needs. They need a $300 dive watch. It satisfies a technical requirement that they have in their life that other people may not have. So by putting watches that meet their criteria in front of them, you are helping them to solve a problem. You've got the vanity factor. The vanity factor overlaps with the prestige factor we just spoke about, but this is where you can really start making money, because vanity, for the people who are terribly vain, can be a very, very expensive condition to have. They want to have the most expensive watch in the room. It doesn't matter to them that their watch may not be functionally any better than a $20 watch. Their pride of ownership actually comes from the fact that they paid a lot for this watch. And they want other people to know that they paid a lot for this watch. One of the things I've always done, I've sold a lot of high-ticket items in my life. And one of the things I've done, when other people are discounting, I actually mark up prices. If I have a product that I think appeals to a person's vanity, the last thing I'm going to do is to mark the price of that product down. I'm going to actually raise the price of that product. Now, I may set up that price change via my marketing or via my description. I may say, these are the last remaining watches from this series. Get them before they run out. Soon to be a collector's item. Da-da-da-da-da. The price is $1,395 until they're sold out. There will never be any more of these watches. And that's after I've raised the price from, say, $1,195. I'm now selling them a collector's item. I'm selling them an item that came from a limited series. I'm selling them an item that's more expensive than it was before because it's already gone up in value before I've even sold it to them. I'm doing them a favor by selling it to them at this price. My gosh, I should keep these watches for myself and just use their appreciation to live off of. So, sarcasm aside, you get the point that I'm making. And understand, there are as many people out there looking to buy a $1,300 watch as there are people looking to buy a $13,000 watch. And there are people out there willing to pay much, much more for watches. I mean, you can easily spend $100,000 on a watch these days. The value in that watch is not that it keeps time any better. It's not that it's waterproof. It's not that it's shock resistant. The value of that purchase to that potential consumer is intangible. It's vanity, it's prestige, it's pride of ownership, and all those triggers are tripped when you do your marketing correctly. When your ad campaign finds those people, and then when your product description and your relationship building process acts on those triggers as opposed to just trying to sell. This client that we're talking about here, once again, just to finish this up and bring you full circle and make sure you understand, the selling took place at the very beginning. You have worked with this potential customer to find a need or a point of pain in their life. What do they need? They need something to help them tell time. What do they want to get in addition to the ability to tell time? Oh, okay, you're a businessman. You want to look stylish, accomplished, and affluent. Okay, so let's look at nicer watches. Okay, now you've helped them find nicer watches, and guess what? You're selling them nicer watches. Moving through this process, they have basically agreed before they've even seen your offering. They've acknowledged a need, they've acknowledged a desire, they have laid out to you what it is that they're hoping to accomplish, and you're helping them as a friend find solutions to their problems, and that solution comes in the form of completing a transaction with you in their store, which they will happily do over and over and over again if you build that relationship. Cost is not going to be a factor if you do this right. Now, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that somebody who only has $100 to spend is suddenly going to find $10,000 to spend on a watch. But that's not what I'm saying. But within their price range, they will not try and bargain with you as a friend, whereas they might have tried to bargain with you if you were just a salesperson, or they might have looked elsewhere. They might have comparison shopped. But you have built a relationship with these people through your marketing where they feel like doing business with you is the best option for them, and they see you as a solution, or they see you as a purveyor of solutions to their problem. So it's a beneficial result for you, and it's a beneficial result for them. You've helped them scratch an itch, if you will. So they feel better. They've gotten an endorphin rush out of the purchase. You've gotten a cash rush out of the purchase. It's a win-win situation for everyone. And this is the most effective way to sell, whether you're selling online or brick and mortar or over the telephone. It doesn't matter. This is the most effective way to sell. It does not necessarily lend itself to a quick sell. You know, a lot of people will run an ad and on Facebook, and 20 minutes later they're looking at their Shopify store to see how many purchases have been made. If you're willing to sell over a period of a few days or a couple of weeks and get the people to a point where they are absolutely just watering at the mouth for you to sell them this product or service, you'll find that again you're able to sell them now with a healthy markup and create a very satisfied customer who's going to come back to you over and over again for help with additional problems in the future. Don't hesitate to leave any questions in the comments section below. If you haven't done so already, please hit like and subscribe. But I really want you all to wrap your head around this and to try and internalize what we've talked about here so that you can be more successful this year than you ever thought possible. If you can really make this work for you, you will be. See you in the next video.